Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Little. I am here in the Bahamas at the PCA. I busted the main event yesterday. That was unfortunate, but fine. I actually think I played really well. I didn't have too many great hands, and most of what I had ended up losing. I had 3 of a kind lose 3 times, which is always unfortunate. And I also had pocket aces in a situation where it came Jack 7-3. I got it all in, and my opponent had Ace 7 for middle pair, and he won. So that was not fun, but what can you do? The other deep stack tournament I played was called a Latin American Poker Tour event, and I don't know if I won a significant hand all day. I just got completely beat up the entire time, and it was brutal. I played all day and then busted right at the end of the day. Very similar to how I did the PCA main event. However, there's good news. I chopped a $5,000 turbo tournament for $100,000 and change, which is pretty cool. I actually had a lot of chips throughout that tournament. I think I got it in good most of the time. One time I got it all in, there were around 20 people left. I think 15 got paid. I had pocket 10s against Ace 5. Loose aggressive kid raised under the gun. I called. We both had about 45 big blinds. I didn't really want to 3-bet because I didn't know if I could get it in against him or not profitably. And another guy called, and then a guy went all in for I think about 25 big blinds or so. The initial raiser folded. I of course called. That's sort of what I'm hoping happens. And I lost to the Ace 5. So that put me down to almost no chips. So I was going to dinner break, and I actually FaceTimed my fiance and said, well, I have about 8 big blinds on the bubble. I am probably going to play really tight and try to get in the money, because whenever you have 8 big blinds and everyone else has 40 big blinds, it's kind of tough to expect to win. But I went back right when I came back from the break. Someone raised under the gun, someone 3-bet, and I looked down at Ace King, so I went all in and beat Queen Jack of the 3-better. And then I got moved to another table when we got down to 16 players, and on the first hand, Igor, who is a very, very, very good aggressive player, raised from middle position. A guy who I knew was somewhat tight aggressive. He's a tight aggressive regular guy. He went all in for something like 22 big blinds from the small blind, and I picked up pocket kings, so I called and beat his pocket 10. So just like that, I went from having no chips to being nearly the chip leader with something like 50 big blinds. I think I ended up stealing a few more pots, and from there everything was nice. I ended up getting in bad one time. I posted that hand on Share My Pair and on Twitter. If you guys have not checked that out, check it out on sharemypair.com. You can just click on the card sharks and you'll see Jonathan Little on there. So that was a fun hand where I made a terrible read. I did not play well. Remember, we got four-handed. A kid limped under the gun. There's this one kid at the table who I think was a Russian kid who was limping some, which was kind of weird. You don't see too many limps in high-stakes tournaments, but I've actually seen it at some amount from some of the higher-stakes guys, which is sort of interesting. Igor, again, raised from the cutoff. We were four-handed. I'm sorry, Igor went all in. So went limp, all in for 10 big blinds. And then this other kid, I don't know how to say his online name. His name is Nick, Kelsius or something like that. He shoved for something like 30 big blinds, give or take a little bit. And the initial limper called pocket jacks. Nick had ace queen, Igor had pocket 7s, and the board ran out with an ace on the river, and just like that, we were heads up. Nick had, I think, 3 million to my 2 million, and we agreed just to make a deal and be done with it. I actually very rarely suggest making a deal. However, in this scenario, we both had to play the PCA main event the next day. Neither of us had a dinner break. And I did not think I had an edge on him at all, and I suppose he didn't think he had an edge on me because he offered the deal no problem. So we chopped it up, went home, and we're both happy. But if that was a normal scenario, I would have just played for purely experience. But the fact that I did not want to be up until 3 a.m. the day before the PCA main event made me decide to chop it. So yeah, besides that, that's how poker's been. Looking around outside, this is the Bahamas. You can see right over, how do I do this? Right there, that is a water slide. And so is that. Those are 2 pretty cool water slides. Amy was out here with me for a few days. She had to go back home. So we went on those a few times. My parents actually came out as well, my parents and my brother, and we went on the slides one day. Every other day I've been spending a lot of time working. I've actually been waking up early every morning to record a video series where I'm reviewing a $100 buy-in tournament that I won on PokerStars, the bigger 109, just about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I got 49,000 for that, so 490 buy-ins. It was pretty sweet. But yeah, so I'm reviewing that. I'm going to be making a product out of that for you guys to check out. If you have not signed up to my email list, definitely do that. You can do that at jonathanlittlepoker.com, and I will send you information about that as soon as I do it. I think I'm going to do a free webinar reviewing some of the more interesting hands from that, so check that out. Today is a $2,000 event at noon, and then a $5,000 turbo event at 5 p.m., so that should be fun. And then I've been debating whether or not I'm going to play online tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, but they also have a $5,000 tournament here. I'm probably just going to play the $5,000 tournament. We'll see. So that's that. Then the next day is a $25,000 event, which is always a big one. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I will keep you updated.